Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So we've been discussing different topics in social information networks, and this is the fifth video in this series or this playlist. So the link to the entire playlist is given in the description below. So if you have social information networks as a subject, most of these topics that we discuss will be very useful to you. So social information networks as a subject in your computer science and engineering. So if you have this subject, it's going to be very useful for you, all these videos. So do check out the playlist and make use of it. So in today's video, we are going to discuss three main topics: homophily, okay, transitivity, and bridges. Okay, these are three important concepts that are useful for you. So first, let us look at, okay, before we move on to these topics, let us just check if we understand what clusters are. So you may have a graph like this. Okay. So in this graph, as you can see, these are much closer. These three nodes are much closer to each other, and these four nodes are much closer to each other. So basically, two nodes in the same cluster are much closer compared to two nodes from two different clusters. Okay, so this is the concept of clusters. Now that we understand what clusters are, let us look at these three concepts that we are here to discuss today. Okay. So homophily is basically the concept, or basically it is the phenomenon because of which these nodes form clusters. So homophily is basically the tendency to link nodes that are closer to each other based on different features. So if it's humans, you can have so many different features. It may be status, it may be income, it may be where they belong to, which state, which country, or what their interests are, or what they believe in. So basically it based on different features, how far they live from each other. So based on different features, we may tend to link the different nodes that we have. So now when you link these nodes, they form a cluster. So the ones that are closer to each other, that means that they have more common features. They have more common features, they are closer to each other, and they form a cluster. Okay. So this is what homophily basically is. Homophily leads to the creation of groups or clusters in a huge graph network. Transitivity. Transitivity is basically a very simple concept. You may have also discussed this in your mathematics, in your functions, basically. So this says that if A is a node that is connected to B and B is a node that is connected to C, there is a very high chance that A is also connected to C. Okay. So transitive properties we've known in math, right? So if A is related to B, and B is related to C, that implies A is related to C. The simplest form would be if A equals B and B equals C, that implies A equals C, right? So in our case, it is not sure, or it is not definitely transitive, but transitivity means that it may be equal to, or it may be, if A is connected to B and B is connected to C, there's a high chance that A is also connected to C. Okay, so basically homophily and transitivity together, they are the reasons that clusters or cliques are formed in huge graph networks. Okay, so this is what transitivity was about. Now let us discuss bridges. So now what is a bridge? In general, in human terms, or in for a layman, uh, a bridge is a structure that connects two landforms or two pieces of land, right? That are separated by some water or something. So that is what a bridge is in a graph also. A bridge is a node that connects two different clusters or two different groups. So if we have two clusters like this, okay, okay, so if we have two clusters like this and they're disconnected, now let's say we have another node G which is connected to C as well as F. So now this node G is called the bridge. Basically a bridge, as we've discussed, is a node that connects two groups or two clusters or two cliques in a huge graph network. Okay, so bridges, these edges, these CG and GF that we have, right, they are usually heterophilous edges, which means that the connections or the links that are there here are weak links. Okay, so bridges, now if G is not there, this cluster A, this first cluster and the second cluster are entirely disconnected, right? Only because of G these two are connected, these two clusters or these two groups are connected, which means that G is the reason they can pass messages or any sort of communication. So that is why we say bridges simplify the communication between different nodes and increase the connectivity and make the transmission of information much better and easier. So that's all I had for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you did like this video and got something to learn, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, thank you for watching.